What's going on, everybody? Hopefully, some of you are just joining us. I saw that there were a lot of people that were waiting to get things going from the very beginning, waiting in line in our queue. It is really great to have everybody here for the All Juice Draft, to be able to go and honor our friend Terez Paylor. With me, we have NFL insiders, we have broadcasters, we have announcers. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and we did a mock draft last year. Wanted to continue this, to be able to do this again this year. Share some stories about our friend, have some memories brought up, and just talk about all the times that we were able to enjoy with Terez. I moved to Kansas City for my career in 2014, and I've always sort of admired his story of somebody that started in covering sports that he really didn't know much about, and always found a way to outwork everybody at his job and continue to rise up and cover the Mizzou beat and then the Chiefs beat, and then make his way over to Yahoo and do outstanding work as one of their insiders, and the podcast with Charles, and also the show that he did at 610 with Bankley and with BK, who are a part of this call. My buddy Danny Parkins is on this call, is now in Chicago. Us and Carrington Harrison, we helped bring that relationship with Terez to 610. And the thing that I will remember the most about him before we get started is, I think a lot of times we tend to find ourselves in a situation where we kind of just expect us to get sort of to the top without the work needed. Like we just don't want to get there. We're not feeling motivated. And you never got that vibe at all from Terez, ever. And it was always a reminder to me, especially later on, when he had 1,000 different things going on, when he was out working everybody else to get a scoop, that we can all do a little bit more, and the work is earned. And so it's just, we miss him every day, and especially around now, I think it's important to be able to celebrate his life and also raise money for an amazing cause. So before we get started, those of us that are on the Zoom, you won't be able to see this, but I'm going to share my screen. This is where you can go at Howard University to make a donation. It's giving.howard.edu/give now. All the information, like you said, it's in the YouTube page. It's on the link. You can go ahead and make your gift, whether you want to do 25 or other, 50, 100, whatever you can do. Certainly, we appreciate it. And then also, you might see several of us as we go back to the screen in just a second. The All Juice team from Breaking Tea, all the proceeds from this shirt go directly to the Terez A. Paylor Scholarship Fund over at Howard University. So if you want to buy a shirt and be able to give directly that way, you can go ahead and be able to do that and make that happen. So without further ado, I want to bring on our first guest, Bill Ryder. Bill has known Terez an awfully long time, and he has the first overall pick on the board for Jacksonville. And Bill, I will kick things off and toss it over to you. Welcome, and thanks for joining us. So Trevor Lawrence officially off the board, number one, the Clemson standout quarterback. Outstanding choice by Bill. I was thinking you might want to consider throwing a curveball and just leaving all of us scrambling just a little bit, but great overall pick, and appreciate you being here and be able to share some of these stories with us. Up next, very excited to bring on my friend Jenny Varentis. She's the senior NFL writer over at Sports Illustrated. Jenny, appreciate you being here, and thanks so much for hopping on with us. It's good to see you. So Zach Wilson is now off the board. This draft going a little bit more on a traditional route. Maybe we wouldn't have said that a few weeks ago when we were debating whether or not it was Zach Wilson or maybe Justin Fields in that number 2 pick for the Jets. But frankly, after they saw his pro day, it almost seemed inevitable that that was going to be the pick. So, Jenny, thank you. You're going to be back on the clock a little bit later on. And I now toss things over to Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports, one of their lead NFL insiders over there. And of course, the co-host on the outstanding Yahoo NFL podcast with Terez Paylor. Charles, it's great to see you and appreciate you being here. You're on the clock at number 3. What are you going to do, my friend? All right, so Mac Jones off the board at number 3. It's a good pick, although it's a little disappointing for somebody that has Trey Lance to the 49ers already bet at plus 250 odds, but I'll get over it and we'll move on just like we do when it comes to a lot of our different bets. I'm not sure if he is here already, but D. Orlando Ledbetter from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, a friend of Terez's for a long time, and is he Orlando? Are you here with us? Nicely done. And Justin Fields, if I'm not mistaken, on the Yahoo All Juice draft was one of the selections. And Charles, I think you can back me up on that. I'm not sure which one of you guys had him, but I am pretty much aware that Justin was on that list. I do know that a few of you guys apparently may not be able to hear us okay. or it might be me that's on. So we're trying to work out that audio in real time. We'll continue to monitor that. But here's the list so far. Trevor Lawrence from Bill at number 1 overall. Jenny went with Zach Wilson of BYU. Mac Jones of Alabama goes number 3. So we got 4 quarterbacks at through the first 4 picks. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep going. If we still don't have the audio figured out, we'll pause this and get back to it really shortly. But we're gonna continue on for now. Is Will Brinson of CBS on with us? Will, you here, bud? Kyle Pitts, possible steal at number 5, and a bit surprising. Will. All right, we're also getting a little bit more of a notice. Apparently, I'm the only one that people can hear. Um, I don't know if you guys are hearing the same. And again, I apologize for anybody that's not able to hear what's going on. We tried to take out some of the headphones and have everybody pick up through the microphone. So we'll see if that's able to work maybe a tad bit better. We'll mess around with some of the settings as well. Let's keep going. Cameron Wolf from ESPN is on with us. Cam, you have the 6th pick for Miami. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and let us know where you're going to go here. A lot of really interesting names still on the board. So where are we going to go here? From Jamar Chase ends up moving down to Miami. Still some audio issues. I think what we're going to continue to do, guys, because everybody on the call is still able to hear. The nice part is that we are recording this. So once this is done, we are going to immediately upload this to YouTube. People will be able to see the different draft picks in the event that they're unable to hear the audio that's going on. Again, super apologetic. The good news is that there's still opportunities. Ultimately, what we're here to do is raise money for the Terez Paylor Scholarship Fund. And again, you can go to giving.howard.edu/give now. That's on your screen. You can also go ahead and buy a Breaking T-shirt for the All Juice team as well. Moving on, number 7. Somebody here in the Kansas City area was a part of the Chiefs team for the last handful of years. Recently moved over to Let It Fly Media. BJ Kissel taking for the Detroit Lions at pick number 7. So BJ, you are on the clock, my friend. Go ahead. Awesome. Thank you, BJ. Jalen Waddle now off the board. He goes ahead of his teammate Devontae Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, which now puts an interesting conundrum back to our friend Will Brinson at pick number 8. So, where do you go from here, Will? Penei Sewell goes at number 8 for Carolina. Nice opportunity for them. Thought that he wouldn't move past 6, but that's how the board ended up playing out. And now we go to Denver. Oh, the Broncos still trying to figure out what's going to happen with their quarterback situation. So, Lindsey Jones of The Athletic, what do your Denver Broncos do? How do they try and get this all sorted out and figured out together? What's going to happen here? So two things to take away from that. First of all, Lindsay, that news is wonderful, and please do, if you can, shoot that out via Twitter so we can let our audience know a little bit further about it. But what an amazing opportunity! That's really wonderful news. And also the other takeaway is that the Broncos at 9 somehow get Trey Lance. Things seem to work out okay sometimes for Denver. It's taken them a handful of years, but they always seem to inevitably get back to getting a quarterback that they might like. Up next at number 10, we have the Dallas Cowboys. And I feel like before we go to Nate Taylor of The Athletic, I kind of feel like the Cowboys here, this has always sort of been the pick that everybody just sort of assumed that they would take, right? Is it going to be somebody on the defensive side of the ball? Is it going to be a linebacker? Is it going to be Sertan? Nate, are you going to change things up? Where are we going with this 10th pick? Patrick Sertan to the Cowboys at number 10. Nate, thank you. That was a really inspiring conversation, especially about your roots and being able to learn from him. He in Kansas City, and you've been doing such great work here in the city as well. It's been a joy to be able to cover and watch your work as well. Let's move on to pick number 11. Jenny Vrentis, you are back on the board. I suppose I ended up giving you both New York teams. Not necessarily, I don't think it was a mistake, but you certainly know the market in the area quite well, and you've covered both teams. So the board falls to you both to cover the Jets and the Giants here, and also with pick number 11. So the Giants at 11, what do they do? All right. The second offensive tackle now off the board when Rashawn Slater. So Jenny, thank you. I'm looking for Grant Paulson. I do not know if he is currently with us. If that is the case, then we're going to throw a little bit of a curveball in the direction of one Ken Swanson. He of Arrowhead Pride. You're going to have a couple picks now, Ken, because you're coming up next on the board as we take one more look. You'll have both the Chargers as well as the Philadelphia Eagles. So back-to-back picks for you, Kent, if you want to go ahead and kick things off. And it was a bit of a surprise, but the board might have fallen in your favor for both of these teams. So tell us what you're going to do. Awesome. Thank you, Ken. You're right. The standard, without question, in Kansas City, and outstanding picks by you as well. I would have met Terez at some point working in sports radio in Kansas City, but fortunately, I was able to meet him a little bit sooner because of our next guest. He's going to be making the pick for the Vikings here, and that's none other than my good friend Danny Parkins. Danny, what's up, man? Vikings known for a long time guard with Steve Hutchinson for a long time. Now they take Vera Tucker out of USC. Danny, appreciate you. And I think you'll appreciate this as well. One of my last times that I got to hang out with Terez, and I know you're an avid poker player, we got to play poker together. And I took a big hand from him. And I'm not a particularly good poker player, like at all, at all. And damn, that felt good to get like one win off of Terez, and he just said like, "Nice hand, man, nice hand." Like he knew like it gutted him a little bit that I was able to take one off of him, but that was the only one. He ended up getting back at me a little bit later, and that was also that same night we were going back and forth trying to one up each other on our Michael McDonald impressions, and I wasn't going to be able to top his. I do some decent impressions, but I wasn't going to be able to top him doing Motown. That's just wasn't going to happen at all. To the New England Patriots we go, and Joshua Briscoe over at Sports Radio 810 and of Arrowhead Report on Fan Nation. Joshua, I appreciate you being with us, man. Go ahead for the Patriots. You have the opportunity also to sabotage a Bill Belichick team, which is what happened when we did a similar draft last year. So what is the plan for this year? Thank you, Josh. It was good to get to see you. Good to have you on. And yeah, TV appearances with Terez over the years were a lot of fun because he was a very chill guy off camera, but the camera or the red light for radio would pop back on, and all of a sudden, you got a little bit of a sense that he was ready and ready to go, and always had opinions, and always was ready to give you his best stuff. So it was always a fun time knowing that if he was going to be on TV or on the radio with you or competing against you for a story, that you wanted to be able to try and meet him at that level. Not an easy place to be. I want to go now to a guy that I'm proud to call a friend, a long time in the fantasy industry, but someone who I know has respected Terez's work for a long time. He's over at Faith and Noise. It's my buddy Derek Brown, and he's going to be making the pick for the Arizona Cardinals. What's up, D bro? Caleb Farley to Arizona at number 16. We go back to BJ Kissel for the Las Vegas Raiders. And again, BJ, your time in Kansas City with the Chiefs, this is an opportunity to sabotage the Raiders if you want. There's a good chance that the Raiders could, frankly, sabotage themselves, but I will leave it to you to make that decision for yourself. What's the play? BJ, just to follow up, is there anywhere online where details from that service or a lot of the elements that you're talking about, was any of that published? And can you, is that something that you can tweet out? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing all those different stories and a lot of those different memories. Um, we'll continue on to Miami. They already had Jamar Chase added to the list from Cameron Wolf of ESPN, but excited to bring on Robert Mays from The Athletic to be able to make the next selection for Miami here at pick number 18. And Robert, you are on the clock, my friend. Thanks for being here. Awesome, Robert. Thank you. That was. I apologize if sometimes throughout the course of these different conversations that I'm at a bit of a lack of words for a couple of reasons. The first is that I'm trying to keep up with all the different picks, but it's it's wonderful to hear all these different stories and how all of us, some of us have never met before, others have known each other for a long time, but we're all connected through this great human being, and all of us have such personal and meaningful memories to be able to share. And I know that for anybody that's been tuning in, whether or not you've had some audio issues or not, you will be able to hear the stories. We are recording this Zoom, and we'll make sure that those stories are told and you are able to hear them because they're absolutely worth sharing and worth sharing over again. So thank you guys. I say this again and again and again. It really does mean a lot that you're here to be able to share these memories and to share his legacy. Before we go to 19 with Washington, and Danny, a bit of a heads up, I'm going to have you pick for Washington as well, since you're up next for Chicago at pick number 20. If you see on the screen, again, for anybody that's watching the live stream, please take an opportunity, if you can, to help make a donation to the scholarship fund. You can go to giving.howard.edu/give now. When you scroll to the site, it's under tribute gift. You mentioned that this gift is an honor, memory, or support of somebody, and then mention in honor of Terez A. Paylor. And then under designation on the page, you'll select other, and then Terez A. Paylor Scholarship Fund. Or if you just want a T-shirt like the one that I am wearing, which you can't see because you're looking at a picture of the website for the All Juice team. But you now know what the T-shirt looks like because it's right on the screen. That's over at breakingtea.com, and 100% of the proceeds are going directly to the Terez Paylor Scholarship Fund over at Howard. We are moving along. We are now at pick number 19. And Danny Parkins, you are back on the clock with two selections for Washington at 19 and Chicago at number 20. So go ahead. He is unfortunately selected. Ken Swanson took him to the Chargers at 13, unfortunately. Micah Parsons is available. Okay. 1 inch. 1 inch. There's another one that is the radio term would be. He committed to the bit, and he committed 100%. So Danny, that was well done. I was hoping that somebody would bring up the Pacino impression. I'm glad that it was brought up on the stream today. Up next, pick number 21 is another friend from Kansas City, but he's currently doing awesome work over at 101 ESPN in St. Louis. And somebody that had the opportunity to host a show with Terez Paylor for, I believe, was it 1 or 2 years, BK, that you were a host of the Terez Paylor show before Bink ended up taking over? Was it 1 or 2? Just the one, but a memorable one indeed. Thank you, BK. That was awesome. And I remember the two of us had a conversation a few days after we got the news, and I'm glad you shared that story tonight because I remember having that conversation with you, and it stuck. It really did. So thank you for that. I'm very excited that Jeff Allen is here. I got a chance to meet Jeff when I first moved out to Kansas City when he was on the Chiefs. Was always a friend of the show. Always that someone that was great both on the field and also with his time to us, and someone who also knew Terez very well. So Jeff, it's great to see you. I know you're out kicking some ass in the cookie business now after a very outstanding NFL career. So thank you for making time for us today. We really appreciate it. He is gone, unfortunately. Robert took him, or no, I'm sorry. I think BJ took him for the Raiders at 17. Okay. Yeah. Collins, yeah, Zaven Collins. You know what I like about that pick too, Jeff? That's an all juice pick from the Yahoo article. So outstanding pick. He's off the board at number 22. Uh, and now we move on to pick number 23, and I welcome in my colleague from Sports Illustrated, Connor Orr. And for anybody that didn't get a chance to read Connor's piece, I don't remember. It might have been towards the end of last year, but for certainly if you enjoy a little fish in your life, Connor's article about Jeff Jolly, who you can find on Twitter, who does a lot of the different sound and audio and bumps back with fish. And there's a few select groups of us that will just tweet out immediately. We get more excited about that than the actual game. So Connor, I love that piece and really have enjoyed and admired your work before starting at SI, but certainly now that we're colleagues, I've enjoyed the opportunity to get to know you a little bit and read your work as well. So thank you for being here. Connor, thank you. And to sort of piggyback off of what you just said, and also in going back to what Jeff was talking about, it's intimidating the first time as a media member when you go into the locker room because you're trying to do your job. But you also know that the players a lot of times are trying to get through, get in, get out, and sort of the humanity of that moment, Jeff, for him to just ask how you were doing, and for you guys to be able to have that connection. I think a lot of times we're so focused as media members on just trying to get what we need and make sure that we're able to talk to the players that we need to. And sometimes you don't remember sort of the humanity that comes along. Like these are human beings, and it's about it's part of the reason that you can make a lot of meaningful relationships um, as a member of the media. But you have to know how to be able to do it the right way and not just make it about yourself. And Terez was the quintessential person to make it about everybody and to be able to do outstanding work while at the same time just being a good person along the way. So I'm glad both of you guys were to share those stories. Terez loved football. I think we all can certainly agree with that. I don't know if there's anybody on this Zoom that loved football more than Terez, but if there is one, it is Jay Binkley of 610 Sports, longtime host over at 610 in Kansas City, and also the last person to be hosting the Terez Paylor show. So, Bank, it's great to see your face. It's great to talk to you. And thank you for being here, man, and be able to help share some stories. Thank you. Um, it's actually a little bit funny that you bring up Rashard Mendenhall. Um, in high school football, sort of in the same conversation. I got to broadcast a game in high school where Rashard Mendenhall ran over me and Danny's Trevians for like 300 something yards, just tore up New Trier. And I still think they ended up losing that game. And ended up going on to Illinois after that and having a solid NFL career. But it's funny sometimes how things come full circle a little bit. But yeah, echo all of those sentiments that you said. So thank you. I believe the board at 25 goes back to Kent Swanson with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Kent, the floor is yours. I love it. Elijah Moore off the board at pick number 25. Very excited to bring on our next person to pick at 26 for the Cleveland Brownies. Somebody who wrote up this year's All Juice team along with Charles Robinson and Pete Thamel over at Yahoo Sports. It's my buddy Eric at home. And Eric, it's great to see you, man. Thank you for being a part of this, and thanks for sharing some stories with us today. You will. You will indeed. Yeah. I never had the opportunity to go up against him, but man, that would have been that would have been frustrating. No. Yeah. Oh, I would. That's unbelievable to go in, especially in that type of a league, and dominate like that from the very beginning. That's intense, especially as somebody who's been following a lot of fantasy football for a long time and covering it over at SI. I wouldn't have wanted to play against Terez, and this is what I do for a living. So he would have destroyed me. Let's continue on. Some of these stories, some of these picks, everything has been really, really special about tonight. And we head over to the Baltimore Ravens and somebody that just wrote a beautiful column. I know it was one that you didn't want to write, but if it had to be somebody, Sam, I'm glad that you were able to just speak so eloquently about Terez's life, and we're all better off for having read it. So it's great to see you. I know it's been a while, but thank you for being here. Awesome, thank you, Sam. Um, I'm excited to be able to welcome on Jim Trotter, host of the Hustle and Flow podcast of NFL Network and NFL.com. And um, J- Jim, it's Oh, okay. I thought I might have cut out for a second. Jim, yeah, I feel bad, man. I know that we had talked about you taking for the Saints here, but you've been here for a while. You've had to sit through a lot of this, so I'm glad that the floor is now finally yours. So thank you for being here with us. Thank you, Jim. Um, Thank you. I know that these stories have been meaningful and so personal, and I know that some of you might have to go. So we'll try and keep things going a little bit quicker. But again, I'm just so appreciative of everybody's story and everybody taking time out of their day to help share these memories and honor his. So it does really mean the world. I'm going to go back to Jay, pick number 29 with the Green Bay Packers. Jay, as a Bears fan, I'm giving you permission for them to not address their offense. That's fine. Leave Aaron Rodgers on his own island. Have him get even more upset. Let him go host Jeopardy and play for another team. That's fine by me. But the pick is yours. It's outstanding. Awesome. Thank you, Jay. Pick number 30 to Buffalo. And once again, we go back to our friend Eric at home. No, you went for value on the board. Jeremiah Owusu Koramoa, and I thought I was doing well, and I might need to bro you good to try and close this out. Eric, thank you. Pick number 31 was the Chiefs pick, so I gave it to Sam, and then of course they went and traded for Orlando Brown. So you get another pick, Sammy, for the Baltimore Ravens. Lucky you. Rashad Bateman off the board at pick number 31. And then once again, we go back to close things out. Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Jim Trotter. Jim, you can close it out for us, man. Jeff, BJ, Jay, Kent, BK, Jim, Charles, Danny, Nate, Lindsay, Bill, Jenny, Sam, Connor, Will, Orlando, Robert, Eric, everybody else that was a part of this tonight. It's been an absolute honor to have you guys here. And then again, for everybody that is still hanging out with us on the live stream, you've heard these stories. We're gonna keep having these conversations because they deserve to be heard over and over again. That's how good they are. Please, if you are able to, make a donation tonight to the Terez Paylor Scholarship Fund at Howard. You can go to giving.howard.edu/give now. You can also go get the All Juice Team shirt from Breaking Tea that several of us are sporting tonight. This whole night kind of felt like just a good bowl of chicken soup. Kind of just warmed your soul a little bit. Just being with all of you guys tonight and hearing all of this. So super appreciative of everybody's time. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. And well, here's to you, Terez. We miss you, buddy. Thank you guys.